Hello again, and this is a video that I wanted to do on a topic I wanted to talk about that I haven't seen anyone else talk about. I have not seen this topic discussed from anyone that I am subscribed to. The main topic of discussion over the last few weeks has of course been January 4th and TNA versus WWE and Hulk Hogan and all the stuff surrounding that. But I don't want to talk about that. Maybe after watching both shows, I'll come in with some discussion, some thoughts about both shows and which one was clearly superior, and what the payoff was. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about this because I think it's interesting. While this is still unconfirmed and still up in the air, we still don't know what's going to happen. But this is interesting. This is interesting because there are differing opinions as far as I have seen. Not on YouTube because, as I said, I have not seen this topic discussed on YouTube, but on message boards about the proposed rematch between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels for Wrestlemania 26. The match that has been hinted about over the last 2-3 weeks of Raw by Shawn Michaels wanting this match. And the overall consensus on these message boards seems to be that it's a bad thing because they don't want to see it again. The people don't want to see... Do they want to see HBK versus The Undertaker again? Because the consensus seems to be that it will take away from the first match, because the first match has this aura of awesomeness and everything was just right the way it was and no one wants to interfere with that. I disagree though. I disagree, and I have reasons for disagreeing with this. The first and foremost one is that there is a feud. There is still a feud that could be continued. There is still a feud that could be continued. Of course, after WrestleMania, there could be no feud continued because they had to take their breaks for whatever reasons they had. But I think there is still a feud that could continue there because Shawn Michaels did not break the Undertaker Streak like he said he would. That was the focus of the match, that Shawn Michaels wanted to break the Undertaker Streak, and he did not fail. He failed to do so. And that was the focus of... Remember when Randy Orton challenged The Undertaker for WrestleMania 21 in 2005? That was the focus of his match as well. Because Randy Orton was really the first guy, I'd say the first guy to really make it the focus of a match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania of breaking the streak. Before that, you know, the fact that Undertaker had never lost at WrestleMania, it was acknowledged, but it was never the focus of the build-up of any match The Undertaker was in prior to his match with Randy Orton. Orton, of course, did not break the streak, so he came back for more. The feud continued for pretty much all of 2005, and you know, I really enjoyed that feud. I thought it was a really good feud, and I think even though they could not have continued the feud after WrestleMania last year, there is still a feud to be continued. I think Shawn Michaels has a reason to come back for more. I think that's a feud that does not need to be force-fed toward the audience as if this match needs to happen. I think they can be sold pretty easily on the fact that this match needs to happen because Shawn Michaels wants another chance to break the streak. He wants to come back for more. Now I've seen messages of people saying that, you know, it's the last few WrestleManias of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, so they should be putting guys over in the last few WrestleManias that they have left. And I would argue the opposite way, to be perfectly honest. I'd argue the opposite way because it's their last few WrestleManias, they should make the most out of them. They should be having the best matches on the card. Maybe not the best matches, but they should be definitely a big part of the show because it's their last few WrestleManias. They need to make the most out of those last few WrestleManias because they're not going to have this chance again. So I would definitely think that Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels would be a big deal at WrestleMania 26 if it were to happen, because we don't know if it's going to happen yet. They've been hinting at it, and it looks like it looks like a safe bet because they've started building it on the shows. But we'll see. So I think that there's no harm in having Undertaker HBK as a main attraction of WrestleMania 26 again, because there is a feud that can be continued, and there is a reason for Shawn Michaels to come back to have another match with The Undertaker. The second main reason, this is probably a bigger reason than the continuation of an angle, is the fact that Undertaker's streak has gotten to the point where there is very few people that he can face that would create a sense of a believability that Undertaker could lose his streak. It has gotten to the point where it is very difficult to convince the audience that there is a chance that Undertaker could lose the streak. Now, the match with Shawn Michaels was so good that you believed it in your subconscious, even though, I don't know about everyone else, but personally I believe that Undertaker will never lose the streak. I think that's his legacy. He never really had a standout title reign. That's never really been his thing. Apart from having one of the most recognizable gimmicks in the business, the WrestleMania streak is his legacy. That's the one thing he won't lose. But there has to be a part of you that believes that maybe, just maybe, he might lose, because either the drama in the match is great, or the ring work in the match is great, or the build-up has been great, and the fact that the Undertaker Michaels match last year at WrestleMania was so good, there was a part of you that thought that maybe Shawn Michaels could do it. Maybe he could win, and maybe he could break the streak. And I remember thinking to myself, after that match was over, that we had gotten to the point where there was only one guy that could face the Undertaker at WrestleMania, that I would have that feeling that maybe he could win. And that person, of course, I don't think this is a big shock, would be John Cena. If it was John Cena versus the Undertaker at WrestleMania, there would be that glimmer of doubt that maybe, just maybe, Cena could win and that the Undertaker might lose his streak. So I was thinking, okay, make John Cena versus the Undertaker for WrestleMania, make it happen, because then the sense of disbelief, the sense of doubt will be there, and that's what the goal is every time you put the Undertaker on a WrestleMania card, to make at this point in his career, at this point in his WrestleMania streak, to make the fans believe he could lose it. John Cena could do that, and so can HBK. Shawn Michaels can do that even now, because he's already lost once. And there will be that small part of you that'll think, okay, he lost once, he's going to come back faster, stronger, smarter, and he will dig down deep and manage it the second time. There'll be that small part of you that will think there's no way that Shawn Michaels is losing a second time. There'll just be that small part of you, but it's enough. It is enough to make you believe that there's a small chance that Undertaker could lose the streak. And I think that's important. I think at this stage, when you're putting the Undertaker on a WrestleMania card, the most important thing you can do with the Undertaker is make it look like he could lose his streak. Because if you don't have that, then you basically have a match that everyone knows what the outcome is going to be, and the momentum is spoiled, no matter how good the match is. Now, I don't know about everyone else, but I really thought watching the WrestleMania 25 match that Shawn Michaels had a chance, because the match was so good and the match had so much drama in it, that I really thought there was a chance that Shawn Michaels could win. In the end, he didn't, and of course I went back to my thinking that the Undertaker will never lose his streak. But they had me in that spot of disbelief during the match, which is the goal. It doesn't matter what you think going into the match or after the match, but in that match, it was done in a way where it looked like that Shawn Michaels could beat the Undertaker and end the streak. And that is the goal when you're having the WrestleMania match with the Undertaker at this stage in his career. John Cena has that factor that makes you think that he might be the one to end the streak, even though he's already over, he's already done enough where he doesn't really need to end the streak. I'd say if you were set on ending the streak, there'd be a few other guys other than Cena who you would give it to, but Cena has the believability factor that hardly anyone else has, apart from HBK, for what the reasons I just gave. Like, do you think there is anyone else they could put the Undertaker against where there would be that glimmer of doubt that maybe the Undertaker would lose? That's a question that maybe you want to comment on or respond to. And with that is the end of this video. I might be back later with some Ring of Honor thoughts, because I have not talked about Ring of Honor on this channel yet, and I do want to talk about Ring of Honor. But that's all for it now. So I'll see you all.